Yeah, thanks as always for coming by and doing what you guys do, which is telling our stories. So thank you. It means a lot to us. And yeah, incredibly disappointing weekend. We came up short against two teams I think we had chances against. And I told the team on Saturday that we've got to make some changes, and we've got to start talking a little bit differently now. We've been talking for so long about, hey, we're just 2 points away, we're just 2 plays away. And now we got to start talking about what we're willing to sacrifice. What are we willing to change? How uncomfortable are we willing to get to make that jump of just 2 points? Against Boise State, they scored 98, we scored 89 points. And when you divide that out over 4 sets, it was 2.3 points, 2.3 plays separated us from coming out on top and coming out feeling like, dang, we were so close. And we're going to flip that script. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but boy, it's got to start now. And we're going to start efforting every single day with what are we willing to sacrifice today for this team. And that's the direction we're going.
When you talk about changes, how much of that is like schemes? How much of that is who's going to play?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. And I think the challenge that we took is on Friday, heading into our kind of our pre-match practice, our day before the match practice. We took a head injury to one of our athletes and to one of our starting middles. And I think that again, it's just one more thing this team has to overcome. One more thing this team has to fight through is we had a brand new face on the floor, and Abby Willison, who did a great job. But it was just another thing that, oh boy, we've got to overcome this. And that's been the story of this team is hey, we get knocked down 7 times, we get up 8. And so Brandon, it's both. It's getting the right pieces in the right places, and it's also schematically, hey, how are we defending these teams that are coming at us? And I don't know that we've done a great job with some of that sometimes, and I think that's a part of our practice planning that I've got to get better with putting ourselves into those positions every day in practice. Because it's a two-way street. It's not just our athletes. It's on our staff too to make sure that we're developing it and creating the practice plans that puts the pressure on us on areas that we're a little weaker.
You talked about their resilience, fall down 7 times, get up 8, but are you glad with the fight that they're giving you? I mean, like, are they giving you enough fight because it's like you guys can't get them down?
Absolutely, and that is it. It's for me, it was how uncomfortable we're willing to be in these situations where a team starts chipping back at you, and I think going up 2-0 on a team that has 1 win all year long is the kiss of death. You're up 2-0, and next thing you know, this team starts chipping back, and we just couldn't quite get back to our level of good play. And I think we were trying to be heroes. We were trying to make this big play that wasn't, in volleyball, it's 1 point at a time, and it's every 8 seconds, there's another chance to reset and respond. And I thought that got away from us. And so I do love the responses. I do love the fact that we're staying in the matches and we're losing by 2, and not that I love losing, but I love the fact that we're fighting. I love the fact that it's coming up this close, because that's what volleyball's all about, and that's what makes it so exciting is I don't know how this thing's going to end. But I know that if we do everything every day in practice that allows us to feel like when we get into a match, we've been in that situation before, then I think we're going to be coming out on the up end of this, and I'm not sure we're there yet.
So like going through growing pains, like you got to get used to you got to get used to them, because I mean it seems like you said, it seems like you guys are right there sometime, but you just can't close it out.
Yeah, I think the growing pains are real. And I think, again, the growing pains get kind of exponentially magnified when you've got players doing some things they haven't done before. And we've seen that all season long. We have some players in some different roles. We have players that are getting sets, that aren't used to receiving that much of the bulk of the offense. And it's, we feel it every day. But the reality is we still, even feeling all of that, we still are this close. We're still against the number 2 team in the league. We're 2 points away, 17-15, Wyoming. We came off a weekend that ended pre-conference play with 2 top 120, top 150 wins with the Kansas State and the North Texas wins. And we came into conference play, and we haven't quite got that edge back, but we also took 2 injuries during that time. And I'll never make an excuse. Again, I say that to you guys all the time, but the reality is we're that close playing, in my opinion, not as well as we can.
Are you at the point kind of where, if you look at stats and stuff, you probably just have maybe 2 people that for sure that are going to play, and the rest of them are going to have to fight it out for the rest. Is that correct?
It's even less than that because of some of the injuries we've took. So there's the competitive depth is not as deep as the well isn't very deep. There's a few players that we can you can maybe play a little opposite. You can play some right side. You can maybe play some middle. But our 2 left sides are our 2 left sides, and there's not a whole lot of people challenging for those spots. And that's what happens when you take an injury. And you're hey, this is who we are. And let's go get better at that and see if we can't find that 2% edge. So when it gets to 23-23, can we be the team that gets to 25 first? Because we've been to 20 first. I couldn't tell you the percentage, but more often than not, we're the team to 20 first. Then it's the sprint to 5. Yeah.
Coach, when you have, was it 3 matches in 5-6 days, do you feel like you have to get more girls in the mix just because you're playing so many matches? You don't want to get sort of players really tired?
You know, Brady, exactly. And the reality is that when we're down to 10 players, and some of those players aren't specialists, that you know they're really. We have a defensive specialist that we definitely cannot see playing front row. There's only X number of bodies, and there's only X number of open floor spaces. So. We've got to be really mindful of how we're practicing. We've got to be really mindful of the length of practice and the duration and the jumps and the frequency that we're putting on these guys. Just because it's going to be a gnarly week. We leave tomorrow, we come back Sunday, we leave Monday, we come back Wednesday, and in that we have 3 matches against 3 really good teams. But again, what we've seen in so far in conference play is that we've yet take the Colorado State match out of it. We've yet to feel like we've been blown out. We've yet to feel like we've played our best volleyball, and I think that's what we're chasing every day. And that's what I keep reminding them daily is what are we willing to sacrifice to go get to where we want to go?
In relation to you chasing your best ball, do you feel like, are you surprised of their response? I mean, do you feel like you expect it to be further along at this point? Are you thinking that, man, I thought at this point we probably have this X amount of victories or whatever?
Yeah, I think coming out of pre-conference, it's by no stretch do I feel like we're out of it. You know, by no stretch do I feel like we can't go and make a nice run in league play. We've got 12 matches left. And I think the reality is, yes, I wish we were further along, of course. But the fact is we are who we are. And when we take on a few injuries, when we take on a few players that are in roles that they're not used to being in, then we are going to go through those growing pains, and it's going to hurt sometimes. And it's going to hurt to come up short. So that's what we've done a lot of.
Any other questions? Great, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.